Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I had previously addressed this honorable chamber through a minister's statement on the Citizenship by Investment program. In that statement, I addressed all the concerns which were expressed by the opposition and the now infamous Martinez. I have also delivered a statement to the nation on concerns and issues raised by Martinez. I also addressed the business community to address concerns raised. Honorable members, you will recall that the infamous Martinez filing of a RICO case, supported by the leader of the opposition, was unceremoniously dropped. But last week, Thursday, 20th February 2025, it was brought to my attention via social media, as I was not served at that time, that a lawsuit was filed by the leader of the opposition against the CIP. Further to that, Mr. Speaker, I have learned that I was deliberately not served as the leader of the opposition in a malicious attempt tried to get the court to grant him an immediate injunction to stop the CIP without allowing us to respond to his unfounded allegations. I was also advised that the court determined that it would not grant an immediate injunction as there is nothing urgent about this matter and that he should serve his claim properly. I was served on Friday morning. Mr. Speaker, the rules of the House do not allow for parliamentarians to debate on a matter which is before the courts. And it is not accepted practice within our judicial system for court matters to be debated in public. I will respect these conventions and not discuss the details of the case. However, I will provide an assurance to the people of St. Lucia and this honorable House, and I will explain to the nation why the leader of the opposition is pursuing this matter. Ever since I assumed the ministerial responsibility for CIP, I have remained steadfast in my pursuit to execute my portfolio diligently and in accordance with the laws and policies that guide me and the CIP unit. I will continue to vigorously answer and defend this matter against our CIP as it is libelous and it is causing untold damage to St. Lucia and the welfare of its people. The leader of the opposition is deliberately being politically destructive and has been hell-bent to do so through his legal maneuverings and mischief, with no regard to the country's reputation and livelihood of our people, and of course the economic stability of St. Lucia. What is so sad is on this occasion, this was done at independence, at a time when all St. Lucians were celebrating another success of the independence battle relay, which he did not take part in, and indulging in activities displaying national pride like never before. That angered the leader of the opposition. It took place after public servants received their much welcome back pay and pensioners receive another payout. And pensioners receive another payout. Now that really angered the leader of the opposition. Mr. Speaker, this time, his filing was not about Philip J. Pierre or his family, and not so much about Ernest Hilaire. It was about St. Lucia. Sad, 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 Mr. Speaker. There is no doubt that Alan Shastney is an angel of progress in this country. He continues this relentless effort to retard our government's successes. He is proving to us that he would do anything no matter how reckless or destructive, to sabotage St. Lucia's progress. His latest attempt to block Galaxy's CIP applications and stop the infrastructure option is nothing more than a desperate, selfish, political stunt which he has fashioned to hurt the very people he proclaims to care about. The leader of the opposition claims that he has enough money and he may be rich enough. And he may be rich enough not to feel the consequences of his action. But he ignores the fact that the average St. Lucian is not as rich as he claims to be and suffers because of his actions. The former Prime Minister knows full well that the halt of CIP applications will dampen investment, slow down job creation, and ultimately weaken St. Lucia's economy. Cognizant of that fact, he is persistent in going down this path of destruction. He wants to score cheap political points, and quite frankly, this is not leadership. It is a national sabotage. I thought associating with Martinez was treasonous and bad enough, but the actions of Martinez failed, and now he must find another attempt to destroy the progress in St. Lucia. Mr. Speaker, I have come to realize that the actions of the leader of the opposition is hypocritical at its finest. Under his own administration, he had absolutely no problems with approving CIP applications. But now, when St. Lucians have finally seen improvements in their salaries, their pensions, and their overall economic well-being, he tries to push this divisive agenda and block all opportunities derived from the CIP. So, for example, the CIP program significantly benefited St. Lucians in providing over $5 million for back-to-school support and other school support. Rather than championing this policy and investment in a country he desperately wants to govern, he tries everything now to destroy it. I must ask him, where is the concern that you carry for St. Lucia? Where is it? Was it there when you sat in government for 5.5 years? The reality of this is that the leader of the opposition in no way cares about the people of St. Lucia. His main concern is stopping St. Lucia's progress. The honorable member was Prime Minister for more than 5 years. He promised to run St. Lucia like a business. He promised ching-ching in the pockets of St. Lucians. Instead, we inherited in 2021 the worst economy in the Caribbean, worst affected country by COVID-19. Unemployment was over 20%. Youth unemployment was 35%. He was a miserable failure. But watch who is bringing jobs to St. Lucia. PJP. Watch who is taking care. Speaker, just 1 minute. I have a little technological issue. You know? This one. No, I got it. Yeah, it's food. Watch who is bringing jobs to St. Lucia. PJP. Watch who is bringing ching-ching in the pockets of St. Lucians. PJP. The filing of this injunction by the opposition leader is a nasty and ruthless attack on St. Lucia's bright future. The CIP is a central driver of economic growth in St. Lucia. It provides funding for critical infrastructure projects, creates jobs, and strengthens our position in the global economy. The blocking of these applications would lead to fewer opportunities for businesses, fewer jobs for young people, and fewer resources to invest in healthcare and national development. He is not just attacking government, he's attacking the people of St. Lucia. He's attacking St. Lucia's future. His reckless actions are not just damaging us at home, they are making headlines all over the world. The international press has already reported on his attempt to cripple St. Lucia's economy. Imagine that. All over the world, this matter is being talked about as an attempt to cripple St. Lucia's economy. And this will have serious consequences for our reputation. Investors watch these developments closely. By dragging St. Lucia's name through the mud, he is carrying away potential investors and damaging confidence in our citizenship by investment program. His message to the world is clear. St. Lucia is unstable. Don't invest here. And why? Because he's bitter about losing power. Mr. Speaker, ever since the leader of the opposition and the United Workers' Party started with these unfounded, fabricated allegations of corruption in the CIP, by me and the government, our applications have been reducing, and we have done work to stabilize it in anticipation of a rebound. But now, this is going to do further damage and a reduction of revenue for the country. Just what the leader of the opposition and the UWP wants, to hurt and destroy St. Lucia and its people. He prefers to see our country suffer because he was categorically rejected by the people in July 2021. Mr. Speaker, Martinez brought forward his lawsuit, which he always knew, and I explained to the entire country, had no merit, as St. Lucia had never done business with him. The leader of the opposition keeps repeating that Martinez withdrew the case because I claim immunity. Me, I never claim immunity, as I was never made a defendant in the matter. Mr. Speaker, do you recall that Martinez said over and over that he would be amending the filing to add me, and then months after he said he was not adding me anymore and that he's withdrawing the matter? I'm sure you can remember that. But the leader of the opposition, to hide his shame and in typical dishonest manner, claims that I was a defendant and I invoked immunity. How can one invoke immunity when one was never a defendant or served with a lawsuit? He would be able to answer that question, as he has been obsessed with the courts. I think he has over 15 cases before the courts now against various people. Mr. Speaker, I want you to ask yourself a simple question. If Galaxy was the main defendant who allegedly did all the wrongs, why did Martinez not continue against them? When Galaxy would not have been and is not able to invoke any immunity? I want the leader of the opposition to answer that question. The answer is simple. They had no case. St. Lucia was added on the request of the leader of the opposition to hurt our country, our government, and our people. Mr. Speaker, what I can assure this Parliament, and indeed the people of St. Lucia, we, this Philip JP administration, will not allow the leader of the opposition and the UWP to succeed in continuing to damage the reputation of St. Lucia. His fabricated utterances are bringing St. Lucia into disrepute and causing untold damage. And he simply does not care, as long as he is not the leader of this country. Mr. Speaker, already we've had to delay major road infrastructure. We had intended to repair most of the roads under the infrastructure option. And it is due to setbacks he created by unfounded allegations about CIP. The leader of the opposition thinks that he's our master. and we should obey his word. I'm sure this sounds familiar. And if he cannot have his way, everybody must be hurt. They must suffer. It is his way or no way. As members of his own party, secretly they tell us all the evils that he does. Well, let me remind you, opposition leader, not here, not in this place. This Philip J. Pierre government would not allow an unpatriotic, selfish individual who was too happy during the nation's 46th anniversary celebrations to inflict economic and financial harm on the people of this country. While the PM was paying back pays, bonuses, pensions, and salary increases. That is the comparison between the two. One destroys and the other one builds. Leader of the opposition, you will not succeed. If what you want to pursue, if that's what you want to pursue, you will never succeed. We are going to mount a serious defense and show the people of St. Lucia, and indeed our international partners, that there has been total transparency, multi-layered due diligence, and approval of citizenship in accordance with the CIP legislation and regulations. Mr. Speaker, I will personally fight the actions of the leader of the opposition, because if he wins, it means no repairing of the Cuba Railroad, no community center in Cicera, no playing field upgrade and no pavilion in Banan, no roads will be fixed in Monkey Tongue and Goodlands. I cannot allow him to succeed. I must fight him. Mr. Speaker, I am proud to be part of this Labour government. I am proud to be part of a government that continues to provide welfare, educational and entrepreneurial opportunities to St. Lucians. I have watched policies of this Philip J. Pierre administration come into fruition and greatly benefit St. Lucians. Whilst this leader of the opposition tries to destroy those opportunities, but we have remained focused on delivering real and tangible results for all St. Lucians. The SLP has worked tirelessly to improve wages, strengthen the economy, and ensure that St. Lucia remains an attractive destination for investment. This reckless move by the leader of the opposition is a direct attack on the progress we have made. St. Lucia is moving forward, and we will not allow the UWP political leader to drag us back into stagnation. The people deserve leadership that prioritizes their livelihoods, not an entitled politician who thinks nothing of causing economic hardship just to satisfy his own political ambitions. The SLP stands with the people. We will continue working to build a stronger, more prosperous St. Lucia, despite the leader of the opposition's desperate attempts to tear it down. We will always be triumphant, despite his malicious attempts. You know why, Mr. Speaker? Because all we know on this side of the House is putting people first. And when you do what is right and coupled with putting people first, you can never go wrong. A philosopher once said that an evil man will burn his own nation to the ground to rule over the ashes. It is sad to say that I have seen the words of that philosopher right here in St. Lucia. The leader of the opposition is so desperate to return to power that he is willing to burn everything to the ground just to sit on the ashes. He doesn't care about the impact on jobs, businesses, or families. His only concern is regaining control so he can sit on the ashes. What kind of leader actively works to bring his own country down? This isn't just bad politics, it's downright unpatriotic. Mr. Speaker, this government has a mission, and that is to ensure every single person will benefit from its policies. We have remained committed to accelerating boundless economic opportunity, and we will defend our due diligence, our competence, and our CIP as much as we can. This leader of the opposition will not stifle the progress of the people's government, and we refuse to allow him to do it. St. Lucia, your CIP is being handled safely, with every ounce of integrity you can think of. We shall not be moved, and will remain committed, delivering to the people of St. Lucia, now, just as when we entered office in 2021. I thank you.